Hey guys, HuShang here. Welcome to another Starcraft2 lesson. In this video, we're going to be looking at probably my favorite Protoss versus Zerg build right now. It's absolutely disgusting. These Dark Templar are going to hit so fast. We're looking at a Dark Templar drop against Zerg. And if you want to look at this builder, I'm going to be putting it up on Spawning Tool. It might not be up exactly when this video is uploaded, but for sure it'll be up there pretty soon afterwards. So if you want to take a look at the replay or you just want to see the notes, then go check the top comments and go over to Spawning Tool, or maybe even came from Spawning Tool. Okay, I'm going to play this at normal so you guys have some time to take notes. I'm going to grab a 14 pylon. And after this 14 pylon, we're going to be grabbing a gateway. One thing I've been doing lately is grabbing this gateway on 15, which is slightly too early to maintain consistent probes, but what this does is make it a little bit easier to deal with stuff like the 12 pool. So I think it's kind of an interesting add. The probe's not that late. And then another thing I've been doing is grabbing this gas, also on 16. I think this is really good with any really heavy gas builds. So fast Stargate or this build, Dark Templar. And then after you get the gas, you can chrono boost. So it does slightly delay your probe production, but the thing is, if you go for a 17 gas, then this gas actually doesn't get mined right away because your probe is too early. So it's kind of like, it's here right now, but it's just chilling and not doing anything. Whereas with this gas, the probe comes out right when the gas is finished. So you get to mine from it right away. Also, as you saw, I put one extra probe on the gas, so we're going to be mining a little more than normal builds. This is the same thing you want to do with Stargate builds as well. And then this probe's job is just to make sure everything's normal. So you can't continue with the build if you don't see a hatch first opening. If you see anything else, then you're going to have to make some adjustments. Like for example, 12 pool, you're going to have to grab an extra gate and a cyber. But that's a different guide, so maybe go check. I probably have one on all of the early openings and the defenses, so go check those out. But as long as you see a hatch first, you can continue here. So grabbing your Nexus on 20, grabbing your Cyber Core on 20, so there's no probes there. And then just make sure you grab this Gas Geyser on 20 as well, because again, we do need a little bit more gas with this build. And then once you reach 20, you can continue probe production. You're going to grab a pylon on 21 or 22. This probe's still kind of chilling. You don't want to send this home until you see their third base. So keep it around here. Look for some lings. Look for when their third base goes down, that kind of thing. Next thing we're going to do is start up a, you can go Stalker or you can go Adept. I'm going to go Stalker in this replay, but it's definitely fine to go Adept. The Adept is going to give you a little bit more pressure and scouting for cheese. So maybe if you're, you know, let's say bronze, silver, gold, platinum, you should go Stalker. It's going to make it easier to play without scouting. But if you're in the mid-tier range like Diamond Masters, it's probably better to go Adept first. Okay, once you start that Stalker, you're going to chrono boost it, grab Warp Gate of course, and then you're going to grab a Twilight Council. Now, don't cut probes at this point in the replay. We are going to cut probes at some points, but at this point, just keep up the constant probe production and then get the Twilight whenever you can afford it. After the Stalker, we're going to sneak in a Robo. You can also get your second gateway unit, and you probably should if you're, you know, anywhere below, let's say, GM, to be honest. So basically everybody. Just get your second gateway unit first. It's a little bit safer. And then grab your Robo again when you can afford it without cutting probes. Now we're going to put it in our wall just so we can make some extra cuts and get this DT warp in super fast. You can do one more chrono on probes, but you have to be careful. We're going to cut probes soon, so you don't want to be chronoing too much. And then we're going to grab our Dark Shrine as soon as we have 150 gas. I'm being extra careful here. If you want to get the super crisp timing, you have to use a mineral probe because we need all the gas we can get here. So grab that Dark Shrine and then cut probes at 11 at the natural. So what is that? 30, 33. I think this probe's counted. Then you're going to grab both your gateways. I'm making a little bit of a wall here just to make it easier. If my opponent does some sort of baneling all in, then my stalker might die, but then I have a secondary wall and we should be able to hold. Okay, still cutting probes. You're going to make an adept here, and then you're going to make the war prism, and you're going to chrono boost the war prism, send it straight across the map, and then you're going to grab a pylon. After you grab this pylon, you can start up probes again, and you can grab double gas. Normally you build 2 pylons at this point in the game, but we really need this extra gas to make this timing super crisp. So make sure you go pylon, double gas, then another pylon. Also, one thing I missed in this replay, actually there might be a couple of things, but one thing I missed is you should chrono this right as the adept's finishing up so that the warp gate is a little bit faster, and you can get the warp in as well as get the Dark Templar warp in, like the cooldown finished faster. So make sure you do 1 chrono here. Then we're going to grab a pylon, and it's pretty tight, but you want to make sure you don't make another pylon here, because if you do that, something's going to be slowed down. So whether it's your warp in or you're going to have to cut probe production, so make sure you don't get another pylon here. Fill your gases. Oh yeah, I did make a second mistake. I guess I misclicked somehow, but click on the gas, of course. And then these two should line up pretty decently. So we have the warp prism coming in, you're going to warp in your Dark Templar, and we also have this adept attack coming across. So 424 Dark Templar, you can probably get 422, I think I got 422 in a couple iterations here, but super quick Dark Templar. You can run them in at the same time. It's going to be very difficult for your opponent to deal with both of these. And then behind this we can start setting up our transition. But already I think this video deserves a like. Absolutely disgusting build for you guys. It's going to be great for gathering those sweet, sweet ladder points. After you do whatever damage you can, maybe kill their third base or kill like 20 workers. Some light harass, you're going to back up. And we're going to start the second phase. Now you don't have to go into the second phase, but this is my preferred way to transition. We're going to do some like a 2.5 base all in. So we're going to start with making some immortals. I might not do this if the opponent is not making a lot of roaches already. But in this iteration, we're going to make some immortals. We're going to chrono boost these like crazy. And then we're going to grab our third nexus. We're going to try and keep these chronoed the entire time. We're basically going to be trying to get 4 immortals really, really fast. So keep those chronoed. Behind that, you're going to be starting up your probe production. And you're going to be warping in 1 more Dark Templar. So we did have 3 Dark Templar, which is 1 too few to make Archons. So you're going to warp in 1 more, and then you're going to go for some double Archon harass. After, let's say, the second immortal, you can grab a blink. And you're still just going to keep adding on these immortals. So queue up a third one, keep them chronoed as you do the harass. We do want to make some sentries. We're going to make up to 6 sentries. But we're waiting for these cooldowns to be at the same time. So you could technically go like 2 sentry here and then 1 more. But I think it's better, at least more efficient overall, to warp these in at the same time. Now, you could argue that getting these 2 sentries first is going to give you a little more energy, which is true, but you want to be doing Archon harass, and I don't think anybody can manage to warp in 2 sentry, then 1 sentry, and do like perfect Archon harass. So try to keep these warp ins all at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. Keep up the Archon harass, and you're going to cut probes at about 51, 52, which is 8 probes at this third base, so 2.5 probe saturation. And then once you have all that, you're going to add on 3 more gateways. So I guess this is another little mistake I made, is these 3 gateways are kind of slow. So you could add these a little bit faster for sure. Oh my god, and this AI blocking this immortal, making my build look slower than it's supposed to. So what is this? Like 30 seconds late? I'm not exactly sure, but it could be a little faster than in this replay. Okay, 3 gates are going down. A couple pylons. Make sure you don't get supply blocked, of course. And then once you get close to 4 mortals, or once you have 4 mortals, I should say, you're going to move out. In the meantime, you could definitely be doing more Archon harass. You could even get a observer before the first immortal if you want, and just harass their creep. Can definitely make this build a lot stronger. Now at this point, you're going to start warping in stalkers. There's another version with charge lots, but I like this one because you only need 6 gates. And it actually hits quite a bit stronger. So we're going to be warping in stalkers. This immortal should be done, so I'm moving out here. Of course, it would slow down because of that overseer. And at this point, you can start making probes again. And the reason for that is you actually have a little bit too many minerals to make stalkers. So we're going to add in some probes as well. So there is a possibility of transitioning if you do enough damage. And then we're going to hit our stalker warp-ins. I think my gates are just finishing up. Like I said, they're a little bit late, so you should be able to get this warp-in at like 7 maybe. Warp in 6 stalkers. Start your push at like 7:15 with blink, 2 archons, 3 immortals, 6 sentries, and 9 stalkers. So absolutely disgusting push. I think I said 3 immortals, but 4 immortals. And you should have another warp in by 7:30. So 6 more stalkers. So really, really strong build. Really strong follow-up to the initial disgusting build. 1-2 punch. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this guide. If you did, make sure to like the video. And actually it would help out a lot if you guys can like it on Spawning Tool as well. I get a lot of new viewers from there. So if you came through Spawning Tool or just watched it on YouTube, make sure to go upvoted on Spawning Tool. And yeah, I think that's it for today's guide. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.